Hello, good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the Creator and Influencer Council of the Philippines General Membership Meeting, guys. So good to have you here. I see you guys all filing in now. This is great. Be sure to leave a comment. And we've got an awesome program up ahead for you guys today. So stay tuned. This is your boy, Mikey Bustos, and I will be your host for our very timely and important session for this evening, which is all about our overall well-being. This is a resounding theme, guys, that everyone really has to deal with. It's consumed all our lives. We're in a very crucial and uncertain time these days, right? In the middle of a pandemic, we're forced in lockdown. For more than a year now, we've been away from the people that are important to us. So, you know, we've been forced to adjust our lifestyles to one that fits the new normal world that we've been living in. So, to be honest, myself and those around us, we all feel it. We're all under the same pressures, and it's been really hard for our well-being, you know, and so I'm really excited about today's program. We've got some awesome creators up ahead. CICP has decided to invite some of our friends to share their stories and struggles regarding their overall well-being in general. We hope that with this session, you will be inspired to be more open to talk about your well-being, because guys, it's okay to admit that we're not okay, and it's okay to ask for help, right? So before I go ahead and introduce our keynote speaker, I hope you can share this live this afternoon so that we can raise more awareness about our overall well-being. And who knows, guys, maybe this can inspire someone who is going through something similar to ask for help. All right, so without further ado, guys, let me introduce to you our keynote speakers this afternoon, who are fellow content creators, and they're very good friends of mine. I love them to death. They are so awesome. We have Judy and Benji, content creators of It's Judy's Life. It will then be followed by our two-part fireside chat with content creators Kuya Kim Atienza, Franco Laurel, Jaz Reyes, and Kimi Lu. Both our fireside chats will be moderated by yours truly. Okay, now let's go ahead and give the floor to our keynote speakers, who are vloggers based in Seattle, USA, and have been vlogging since 2011. This couple, guys, they vlog mostly about their family that consists of 4 beautiful daughters, Juliana, Mia, Kira, and Leah. Please welcome my good friends, Judy and Benji. Judy, Benji, take it away.
Hi, Mikey. We're so excited to be here. I'm Judy Travis.
I'm Benji.
And let's just get started with the questions.
For sure. Let's do it.
Okay, so what challenges did you have to your mental health when you were just starting out on YouTube and vlogging? Well, I'd have to say I started YouTube back in 2008. And this was when YouTube was just starting.
Yeah, it's much smaller community.
Oh, it was so small. I think there was like a handful of beauty creators. At the time, I some of the top few I remember were Purse Buzz, of course, Michelle Phan, Encore, Makeup, and Makeup Geek. So it's been a few. But I must say, because at the time, YouTube was so different, there was no pressure at all. And I felt like, especially back then, mental health was never discussed. In fact, back then it was super taboo.
For sure.
So fortunately, I didn't have to deal with any mental health issues back in 2008 when I started YouTube. Fast forward to today though, holy cow.
Well, I'd say when we first started out, we were really fortunate because, don't get me wrong, there was definitely people leaving negative comments and haters, but it wasn't to the degree that it is today. And in the beginning for us, we had a very positive community. So as Judy said, their mental health was not even a discussion, and we didn't have to deal with that side at all. So we were really lucky. And throughout the years, our community has been generally very supportive and positive, just like in the beginning. And I'd say it's just that YouTube has changed a lot and the world has changed. I mean, we're talking 2021. It's a completely different time in challenges. So we were lucky because of that.
All right. Question number 2. What are the pressures you experience with vlogging and showing your personal life to your audience? How did you cope with these challenges? I'd have to say there's definitely been pressures with sharing our lives and vlogging. And when I first had the kids, it was trying to be the perfect mom. Really, like I didn't want to share the really tough parts because I didn't want to show my weakness as a mom.
Everybody has an opinion too, especially with parenting.
That was the worst because parenting is there's no right way to parent, right? Like, you know what's best for your child, but everybody is, you know, a mom, and they're telling you what you're doing wrong. And you start to believe those things. And then you'll think like, oh my gosh, I'm doing it wrong. I need to start a sleep schedule right away at a few months, or I can't feed my baby this because I don't want people to judge me, or I can't wake up my baby while they're still sleeping to feed. There's just so many different things out there. The best thing to do is just talk to your family doctor. But yeah, I think that was so hard. Like, it was trying to be the perfect mom until I finally realized, like, no, how can I keep that up? How can I continue vlogging trying to be somebody I'm not? That's just not sustainable.
Yeah, another thing that Judy and I have been able to do over the years is, even though we're so grateful for all the positive comments, people praising us for this and that, we also take it with a grain of salt, because the danger of letting that external factor build you up is potentially that external factor being negative can tear you down. So I think this kind of goes along with the other point, which is, how do we keep peace in our life? We are doing things for our own reasons. We don't let, the comments, both positive and negative, be what builds our confidence. Our confidence is built off of what we're passionate about, off of our own internal beliefs and principles. So I think that's really helped too. And I guess this is where I would give Judy a lot of credit. I mean, we're talking 5 to 7 vlogs for 10 plus years. Most people can't sustain it because, again, the mental health part of it. Also, it's really tough to put yourself in the ring every single day. But for Judy and myself, we both gain that peace in our life from just living the life that we believe in, and not taking it too seriously what other people's judgments are. Because I'll tell you right now, there's more judgment than ever. Everybody's got opinion, especially when it comes to the parenting, family life. And I guess we've been around enough to know that, dependent on your country, your culture, the beliefs, your religion, will determine a lot about, what somebody says or perceives about you and how you do things.
Yeah, that's a good point. And also, my motto when it comes to vlogging is vlog your life. Don't live to vlog. So that means, if you happen to be eating something that you were going to be eating that day, then share it. Don't think of creating this Michelin grade star dish because you want to portray this is a type of food we have in our house every day. So sometimes we have the same food,
fast food,
same food every week, and we get fast food. It's completely fine. Yeah. And again, that goes back to just being true to yourself and not I guess playing a role.
Yeah. Somebody said this today on a conference call, was on you zigzag to your own beat, not zigzagging to the beat of the audience. Because if you do that, you'll be going every which direction. You'll go crazy. And that's what leads to burnout. I think another thing too, and again, addressing some of the concerns of this conference, is Judy has never been afraid to follow her passion, even if it meant that it wasn't what her audience expected. So she went from beauty to doing the lifestyle vlogs, and now she has a mommy channel. And guess what? She doesn't upload to the mommy channel as much. We do the vlogs, really basing what she wants to put out into the world and what we do on YouTube based off of what we want to accomplish and what we want to put out there, not worried about the algorithm or that judgment. So again, staying in our own lane and letting any kind of internal feelings be influenced by our own life and our own decisions.
All right. Okay, so next question. How are you able to keep a healthy relationship with your spouse and your family while vlogging? I'd say boundaries. Boundaries is huge. We've been vlogging for 10 years now. I think like before
next month will be 10 years.
Babies. Oh my gosh. And there's times when even Benji will be like, honey, I don't want to be in the vlog right now. Mm-hmm. At first I was like, oh my gosh, you don't want to, like, it's me. But no, it's not just me. It's also an audience. So that's something that I learned right from the beginning. And then when we had kids, there's very, very strong boundaries. You don't want to put your kid out there and just embarrass them in front of the whole world. When they're babies, it's cute and they're so sweet and it's quirky. But when they start going to school, they have their own, they're their own people. And that's something we 110% respect. And the girls tell me every few days, like, oh, mommy, don't vlog this, please. I'm like, okay, I'll put my camera down. Or they'll be like, mommy, can you vlog this? Can you share this? And if it's appropriate, then we'll share. But keeping very strict boundaries with our family is top priority. Yeah.
In our marriage, I'd say similar to that. Not necessarily about boundaries, but making time for each other. So I insist that at least once a month, we're going on a date night or a date trip. That means like going away from everything, including the vlogs. And that's what's interesting too. There's a lot of times in our lives, even though we vlog at least 5 times a week, that we don't document for the purpose of staying focused on our marriage and our relationship. So that's been really important too. And I think similar to a lot of things I said before, we're not building up our relationship or family based off of what's good for YouTube. We're building up our relationship based off what's good for us, even if people disagree with that. And you got to stay true to that because too many people, again, are zigzagging to the influence of this external factor. And that's when you get into dangerous territory. Judy and I can say this, not necessarily in a way to, I'd say, flex or, inflate our ego, but we've never had to go to therapy before. I think that if you have needs for therapy, you should, definitely. But it's because Judy and I have been so committed to each other and these boundaries, both for ourselves and our kids. And of course, my therapy is hanging out with Judy. So that also is a huge bonus.
Vice versa. I think my therapy is just venting out to Benji as well. So I think it's so important to have somebody that you can talk to and not bottle up your feelings, because that's one thing in the beginning of our relationship before we even got married. It was keeping our feelings inside until one day it was like we blew up. And it was, I feel like that's the beginning of a toxic relationship.
Which happens even if you're not a vlogger, right? Even if you're not on YouTube. But that's why communication is even more important, just because you do have these external factors that you have to take into account. Yeah. Even if we don't take it too seriously, it's still, we're exposed to it. So it's all about, being aware and cautious.
Yeah. And also, just going back to what Benji said about prioritizing date night and date trips. I don't know, boo. Going back to that, I would say, especially in the Philippines right now, people don't have the freedom to go out to date nights, to go to the restaurants. Yeah. So something that we do, especially when, the kids are sleeping, I call it the after hours time. Yeah. We will pop open a bottle of wine, throw on a movie on Netflix, and that's our intimate, time. Mommy, daddy time.
No, husband and wife time, but date night in, we call it date night in. be very strict about when the girls, or in our case, the girls are your kids, go to sleep, and just carving out that time. If you don't have kids, just make that time for yourself if you've got a spouse. I want to actually mention the last thing here about with you doing YouTube for a long time, how were you able to last? Do you have any advice for tips for budding creators, especially in terms of keeping their mental health safe? One thing that a lot of people don't talk about, and this is the way I was raised, and I know Judy and I are firmly all about this. Even last night we were talking about coming from a place of gratitude. If you just look at what you have in your life and you're grateful for that, it's just a great way to start off your day generally. So that's like elementary. And then secondly, I did mention this, making sure that if you're going to create content for YouTube, do it around something you're truly passionate about, that no matter if you get 1 view or 1 million views, it's still fulfilling your spirit. One of the detriments of somebody chasing views or subscribers is maybe it doesn't speak to them anymore. And so this is when you see burnout happen. One of the things I'm most, I'd say, proud of and look up to Judy for is the fact that she's been able to sustain this for not just 10 years, almost 14 years. Yeah. And I attribute it to the fact that Judy doesn't do this for a metric or impression. She does it because this is what she's so proud about and,
absolutely.
And has fun doing.
Absolutely. Once you find it to be like a job or I got to pick up the camera to record something, that's when you know it's affecting your mental health. And maybe it's not the best thing to do. So that's when it happened to me several years ago, multiple times. And that's when we went from vlogging every single day, 365 days, to vlogging 6 days a week. And now we are at 5 days a week. And I have absolutely no regrets. Taking those 2 days off is the best for myself. I mean, I must say I'm quite selfish because I'm thinking about myself, but at the same time, when you're able to treat yourself with respect and create your own boundaries for yourself, then you can also in turn, like just give more love to your family, if that makes sense. I don't know if I said that correct, but I knew my boundaries and I knew that I couldn't keep up and I was starting to burn out. So be very aware of the time that you're putting into your work, into your editing, creating content. And if it starts affecting your family, then, that's a huge red flag. So be very aware of that.
I guess that's it. I think we answered it all.
I think we answered all the questions. So back to you, Mikey.
Maraming salamat for that very real and inspiring keynote speech, Judy and Benji. Guys, I love them. Honestly, Judy and Benji are masters at balance. Like they said, they balance their personal and private life and their online social media life. And they've really done a great job at that. And they are truly, for me, the go-to masters at that kind of balance. So thank you again, Judy and Benji, for being part of this. On behalf of CICP, we are truly honored to have you. So we've got a lot of speakers coming up ahead, guys. Some great insight coming up. What insights have you guys learned so far? Again, let's help spread the word and raise awareness regarding our overall well-being by sharing this live. We could really use all the help that we can get when it comes to this matter. Now, it's time to move to the first part of our fireside chat. And for this first part, this one is pretty special because our guest is someone who, if people look from the outside, will never think that this person went through something difficult in life. We usually see him on our television sets here in the Philippines, imparting tips and trivias regarding our favorite animals. So for the first part of our fireside chat, we will be talking to the one and only Kuya Kim Atienza, a TV personality and wellness advocate who will be representing celebrities transitioning to the content creation world. All right, Kuya Kim, let's go ahead and dive into our first question. Kuya Kim, it's so good to see you. The man himself. Kuya Kim, it's so great to have you here. And, just seeing your face makes everyone's day so much better. How are you?
Mikey, it's been a while. The last time I saw you in person was more than a year ago, no? And
I think that was 3 years ago.
Was it 3 years ago already? But I remember your flat so distinctly and all your aunts. And I brought my kids. And it was such a fun taping day, Mikey.
That sure was.
Your visit in my house is so memorable. I still watch the YouTube video every so often. That was so fun.
Your place is total gold, Kuya Kim. The energy is so good, and which is actually why it's awesome that we're going to be chatting today, because really we're going to be chatting about mental energy, like physical energy, spiritual. And everyone knows that you are the go-to guy for the best answers to deep-seated questions. So, are you ready? Are you ready for these questions, Kuya Kim?
Of course, Mikey. Yeah, I'm ready anytime. Yeah.
We're all eager to hear your wisdom. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, so we want to know, you're a content creator now, which, by the way, congratulations. Your channel is super duper successful. We want to know, what does it mean to be well balanced in mind and body to you?
Well, for me, it's always a balance of mental, spiritual, physical. And the way I do it is I exercise a lot. No? Of course, you put it. You can write it in a piece of paper. No, on a scale of 1 to 10, my physical state now would be about maybe an 8.5, when it used to be a 10, because I used to run marathons and I used to join triathlons. But for lack of races, I still run and I still bike, but I put a higher purpose to it, which leads me to my number 2, which is spiritual. My spiritual state is maybe about 8.5 or 9 as well, because I tie it up with my running. My running now has purpose. Instead of training for an Ironman or a marathon, I call it run evangelism. So as I run, I'm able to cite biblical verses, because I'm a Christian, biblical verses, and I'm able to explain it a little bit. I'm able to say hello to all my followers. And so it's tied up with my physical, my spiritual.
Interesting. So you tie your exercise into, I guess,
prayer
spiritual
and
world.
Yeah. It's called
to try.
Go to the hashtag run evangelism, and you can see me running. And as I run, I talk about spiritual matters. No? I talk about my Christianity, and it's good because people watch it. No? When you watch a pastor, I'm not a pastor, but when you watch a pastor sitting on a chair with a microphone, that's not engaging content. You won't watch him.
Right.
This guy running, and then you're waiting for him to run out of breath, but he's not running out of breath, and he's able to say biblical verses. Then the more they stick, the more they stay. And it's my running with a purpose. And so there. My spiritual's okay. My physical is okay. My mental is a little bit low, mainly because I'm doing less things now. There was a time.
I find that hard to believe.
Well, yeah, but it is low. Instead of an 8.5 or a 9, I put it at a 7, because I used to do 4 shows in ABS-CBN. That keeps me mentally sharp. Because of my station, I'm left with just one segment in the news now, which is my trivia and my weather, and I'm not mentally excited by it. I try my best to be mentally excited, but the volume is just so small that what kept me really sharp? My Matang Lawin. Remember my Matang Lawin?
Yes, love that show.
Yeah, that keeps me sharp. And then I had just before the station closed down, we had a daily radio show called Sakto. It's an hour every day of free interview, and we'd have expert guests, and that kept me really, really sharp. And but now, because of the less volume, mentally I'm good, but not as good as my physical or spiritual. So there you go.
I see. So all 3 levels of dimension that you talked about, spiritual, physical, mental, need to constantly be exercised pala, in order to keep it from atrophy, I guess.
Yes. I would put it as a triangle. So it has to be a perfect triangle like this. So if it's so the base has to be the same as the sides as well. That's an isosceles, no? Isosceles triangle. If the triangle is twisted in a certain way, then there's something that's not balanced. So it has to be that like that. But the mental state I will improve on. So I'll be an isosceles triangle. Another thing,
Interesting.
Another thing to keep me sharp and to keep everyone sharp, especially during this time, is to have a daily routine. You have to keep on doing something regularly, and it has to be a routine. You have to wake up a certain time every day, and then you have to do certain things at certain times, just to be sane. Otherwise, especially if you're quarantined, ay nako, it's such a challenge to your mental health.
Yeah, I guess it does require a certain discipline, doesn't it? To be able to take an inventory of your mind, your body, your spirit, and like have a grading system, which you seem to be very attuned to. I think that is a great insight. Okay, my next question, Kuya Kim, is, as a content creator, of course, we're faced with so many challenges and pressures from our audience, right? Do you manage to keep yourself in a healthy mental state? Like, so you mentioned running and the run evangelism. Is there anything else that you do?
As a content creator, it keeps you busy. Now I realize how difficult your life is because I was not a content creator. I was a mainstream TV guy, and it would be fed to me. I'd have a staff of 5 or 6, which you met. I'd have a script. I'd have a production meeting. I'd have cameramen. As a content creator, all I got is my GoPro and my Insta360, and I think of my script, and I create everything. It's difficult.
Well, you know what? You've made the transition really, really well. It's fantastic to see how you've developed as a content creator. We all love your content. Yeah.
My challenge as a content creator is how to keep on producing content. No, there are times when I find myself repeating myself because it's been a year already since I'm creating content every single week. I never skipped a week, and the challenge is how to keep on dishing out something that you're passionate about. And the reason why I don't run out of content is I don't look at subscribers and I don't look at views that much anymore. There was a time, the first few months that I was doing it, I was counting each and every subscriber. I was counting all the views, and I get so bothered when the views are low. But now, I put something that I like. And if it's something that I like and it's something that I'm passionate about, then regardless of views, I'm happy. For instance, I used to put in content once a week. And then I'd have I have an editing team that helps me because editing is the most difficult. And so that's my main content. But for the past 2 months, I started doing live streaming on YouTube. I used to do live streaming since last year on Facebook. And
How do you like it?
Live streaming now on YouTube. It's not as big. The views are not as big as my main YouTube content. Maybe I get about 5 to 10,000 a week. And that's about it. But I feel so good doing it, touching 5,000 people or 10,000 people with that live stream. I don't really care if it grows because I feel good about it. And I know that I'm inspiring people. I know that I'm evangelizing. I know that I'm touching people's lives. And, there's even a couple of times when I just accidentally met a couple of people who were so depressed that they were about to do some self-harm via my live stream. Yes. And I was able to get in touch with them, and they became friends, and they became, just one or two that I'm able to reach because of my live streaming, regardless of the number of views or subscribers. Then I'm doing my purpose as a content creator.
Actually, it's funny you say that because one of the things that I've learned over the years of doing YouTube is exactly that. Like, there's so much stress on the view count, but that is such a tiny piece of metric that doesn't necessarily matter in the big picture. I think what matters is the quality of the view. Like you said, you're touching people's lives and you're actually sort of enriching their lives and saving lives, in fact. And these are the ones I find, Kuya Kim, that will stay with you past the expiry date of the typical YouTuber, which is around 3 years. So the quality of the view, I think, is what is the whole message of what you're saying, and it's something I think YouTubers should follow, in your footsteps in that way.
It's funny, Mike. Our friend Will Dasovich, he gave me advice when I was new to this, and then he told me, sabi niya, Kim, you're a TV star. You're so used to views, and you're so used to your fans adoring you, and do not be surprised on YouTube when it takes a while and it takes some effort for you to be able to get followers despite your popularity on TV, on mainstream TV. I was listening to him before I started, and there's such a thing as a five vlog syndrome. What's a 5 vlog syndrome? You artistas, no? You guys on TV, you think that after putting one vlog, you'll get your millions of fans already. It's not like that. If you look at most of the artistas' vlogs, they only last until 5 vlogs. On the 5th vlog, they vlog regularly, 1 week at a time, regularly 5. After the 5th, the next vlog is 6 months after. The next vlog is 1 year after, or the next vlog, or there's no more next vlog. Because they realize that the content creating on YouTube is totally, totally different from mainstream television. So,
yes.
Vlog syndrome, I'm so aware of that. So far, it's not been 5 vlogs.
You definitely lasted much longer than 5 vlogs. And you know what? Like you said, not a lot of artistas are able to make the transition into the content creation world. You've done it wonderfully, and you're a content creator. So in light of your success on YouTube, Kuya Kim, I've got to ask, on behalf of all of those who are just starting off on YouTube, who past their 5 vlog syndrome, and they see that they're not getting as many views and are kind of distraught and hopeless and are wanting to give up, what is your advice to that group of YouTubers? Because that is a considerable group of YouTubers who really passionate to be YouTubers, but it's hard getting that motivation to climb that hump. What's your advice?
My number one advice is think of your content as a work of art, as a sculpture. A sculptor or a painter would create a painting not for an audience. When they start creating for an audience, then they're commercial artists and they're better off in Mega Mall or in some mall, no? But real artists would create a piece of sculpture just for the pleasure of creating that piece of sculpture. Think of your vlog as your content as that. Now, everything else is secondary. People like it, and then you get subscribers and you get views. Fine, but that's bonus. But if you like what you create, and then that's all there is to it, and you're happy. So that's number one.
That's a secret, yeah.
And number 2 is there are practical ways also of getting subscribers and getting views, but that's secondary. The first of that criteria would be regularity. The algorithm doesn't like irregular posts. If you post once a week, you got to post once a week. Otherwise, they're not going to push you up. Diba?
Consistency.
Consistency. But I go back to my first one. My most important advice is think of your content as your piece of sculpture that you put in so much passion and that you love so much that by itself is already good and gives you pleasure. So that's it.
Yeah, it's true. I do feel like audiences gravitate towards passion, and they can see it. It radiates from the screen. When you watch your videos, and for example, when you're running and you're evangelizing, there's almost this sort of buzz that emanates from you that I think people gravitate towards. I think people love authenticity. I think they can tell when a creator is not in love with their content, or their whatever they're posting, and I absolutely see and understand what you're saying, and that is some amazing wisdom, Kuya Kim. Thank you so much for participating in this fire chat. Is there any? Would you like to invite those watching to visit your channel?
My channel is Kuya Kim Atienza. Just type Kuya Kim Atienza, and then my latest vlog now is about Doc Adam Smith, about him being not understood by a lot of people because of his content. Now his content is something else. So that's Kuya Kim Atienza on YouTube. On Instagram, just type Kuya Kim Atienza, and I'm there as well. I'm very active. And on Facebook, I'm so happy with my page because I hit my million follower mark a couple of weeks ago. And on YouTube, on Facebook, I post myself. If you think that I have a moderator or an administrator, no. The ones that make all those comments on Facebook, because I'm all over the place. That's me. It's me, okay? So on Facebook, it's Kuya Kim Atienza. That's my page. My personal page is too full of people already, so I can't add anymore. I have more than 5,000 already. But my page is Kuya Kim Atienza. I'm also on Twitter. For news and information that's medyo hard, I'm on Twitter. It's Kuya Kim _Atienza. So please follow me. And I'd like to also say that, Mikey, it's such a pleasure to be with you. First of all, because I'm called Kuya. On mainstream TV, I'm the Kuya. People call me Kuya. My dad calls me Kuya. And the elderly people call me Kuya. But the real Kuya of YouTube, before YouTube was the YouTube that we know now, is Mikey Bustos. When nobody was on YouTube, Mikey was on YouTube already. So you are the Kuya Mikey of YouTube. So it's an honor.
Thank you.
By you, huh?
It's an honor for you to say that. You are like my ultimate idol. You really juggle the different platforms that you're part of well. Your media platform, your internet platform, even the various social media accounts. You have different voicing and content for each, which is really great. So for all those watching, be sure to follow the one and only Kuya Kim online. Yes. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Okay, Mike. And hugs to RJ, okay? You take care.
Thank you. I'll be sure to hug him for you. Bye. That wraps up our fireside chat with the one and only Kuya Kim. Kuya Kim, maraming salamat for sharing your story and insights. I love this, guys. Learning from the pros and those who are also in similar situations as us content creators. It's just such a breath of fresh air, rather. To hear their insights and how they cope with this whole theme of wellness, right, and mental health. So, there you have it. That was our fireside chat with Kuya Kim. And as we expected, really inspiring and touching. We hope that you guys have been inspired too. But if you're still wanting more, don't worry, because we still have one more fireside chat and another set of inspiring fireside chat panelists who are very excited to share their stories as well. Let's go ahead and get to know them, guys, shall we? All right, so joining us, we have Franco Laurel, a theater veteran, awarded actor, and a family man who will be representing Gen X and content creation centered around family and balancing all these while being a father. Also, we have Jaz Reyes, a content creator, artist, and entrepreneur who will be representing Gen YZ and content creation centered around art and balancing all these, all while being an entrepreneur. And finally, we have Kimi Lu, who is a global life coach and well-being expert, who will also be representing the expertise and thought leadership on wellness and overall well-being, as she has practiced her career and vocation on being a life coach for over a decade now. This is awesome. Hey, everyone. Hi, Franco, Jaz, and Kimi. How are you guys?
Hi. We're doing well. Well, I'm doing well.
Awesome. Okay. So, yep. Go ahead. Why don't you greet our audience? They're all tuning in and listening to you guys.
Okay, ladies first.
Oh, hello, everyone. It's nice to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're so excited being here today and being able to share whatever we can to help out.
Wow, you guys are awesome. And I can't wait to get started. So let's start with our questions. My first question, or our first question here at CICP is, what are healthy mental and physical wellness habits you'd like to share with our audience today that might be able to help us? So Franco, why don't you go first?
Well, I always make time to be alone. I always have my me time, and that's where I do my quiet time. I pray, and as cliche as it may sound, prayer really works. And in this time where where there's so many uncertainties, and with the passing of my mom exactly a year ago, our family has just gone through so much, and having my time with God has really helped my mental health and has helped me look at life in a how do you say it? A more focused and more positive outlook in life. And I also make time to work out, because I really believe that when endorphins kick in, it just really makes a whole lot of difference in your well-being. And I also try something new. I make sure that I do something out of the box, something out of the ordinary from what I've been doing all my life. So, like lately, I've been making soap. Yeah, I've been making soap.
Cool.
Yeah, I learned how to make
different.
soap. Yeah, it's so different, and I've been making disinfectant spray. So something that something creative, and that has really brought out something new and also exciting, and it's been therapeutic for me. So yeah, I really, really highly recommend for people to do something new and out of the box, and you'll really enjoy it.
Awesome. I think that's great. And you touched again on what Kuya Kim said about all three levels, the mind, body, and spirit. Thank you, Franco. Next, how about Jasmine?
I haven't heard the full speech of Kuya Kim, but I totally agree with that. Like, tapping on every aspect of your life, of your body. Like, if it's for the spirit, sometimes I do enjoy, or I want to get into things that just makes me happy. It could be really mababaw lang. There's no judgment on what lifts your spirit, I think. And I think whatever it is that helps you do that, or just put a smile on your face, whether it's a smirk or a grin, I think that helps. For me, it's being with my dogs. I know, Mikey, you have a bunch of spirit boosters there with
Yeah.
And I really think that helps. And I think that's why a lot of people also started adopting new fur babies as well in this pandemic or this time. It's because you also find another sense of purpose and friendship with them. For physical wellness habits as well, they help us as well, like with having pets, because we have to get out there, we have to get active. And I totally agree with Franco. The endorphins really help. And I think a lot of people get intimidated by the fact that, you know, they were started before. It's tough work, yeah, but you don't have to push yourself too hard, just enough to make sure that everything's going about, everything's moving, because there's some, I guess, when you're doing something in a routine as well, and it's only for you, there's also a sense of achievement for yourself. And I think that boosts your confidence, that boosts your morale in whatever work that you have to do, be it creative or not. And I love that Franco also mentioned that he started a new hobby. I think this is like the perfect time to get into something that either you pushed aside because you're afraid of judgment or you don't have time or whatnot. And just maybe go to YouTube University. It doesn't have to cost that much for you to start something new.
So true. I love that. And I think a lot of us are forced to be like, okay, what are we going to do with all this free time? We're stuck in the house. Yeah. And a lot of them choose self-improvement, which is so true. It's so good.
Also, as Filipinos, Mikey, I'm so happy because all of my friends, if not all or most of them, would get into baking and also making it being an entrepreneur. So parang it started out as a hobby and then it turned out to be something so much more. And that's the best thing that you can give for yourself.
That's
true. A lot of people started side hustles in this pandemic, right? Because we got to be resourceful and use everything we've got.
Yes.
Hey, our resident expert, how about? Well, what would you say are healthy mental and physical wellness habits?
You know what? I think, I'm sure Kuya Kim said a lot of things. Franco said really good stuff. Jasmine also, was able to tell us a lot of things that we can do. So I want to kind of encapsulate all of those and summarize somehow that those things that they were doing was really trying to fill up their cups first. So I think that would be the secret of taking care of your well-being. It's filling up your cup. And then I know you hear that a lot already, but this may be something new, and I'm trying to advocate it and tell everybody about it, that you can only actually give from your overflow. Makes sense? Because if your cup is full and then you give, then you start getting depleted, right? But if your cup is full and it's overflowing, then you give from the overflow. And that also means that you're giving from a place of abundance. So always make sure that you are full. Even when you're giving, you should be full. So all of these things that you're doing, the new hobbies, the side hustles, maybe also meditating, having a practice of gratitude, also being really compassionate to yourself, taking naps, perhaps allowing yourself to feel feelings and emotions. All of those are part of filling up your cup and then giving from your overflow.
Wow, I love that. That's awesome.
Mikey, that's my motto when I eat. I only give extra.
You can have our extras. Yeah, no, I love that. And don't they say you can't give from an empty cup?
That's true.
That's like just another way of saying that. You have to give from your overflow. OMG, I love this already. It's okay, we have another question. Who are your favorite wellness creators or positivity advocates, and why? So, Franco?
Oh, yeah. I always make time. Well, you know what? I spend a lot of time watching YouTube videos, more than watching TV, and I get a lot of inspiration. And one of the channels I really love to watch is Victory Alabang. I go to Victory Christian Fellowship, and I go to Victory Alabang, and they have creative videos, daily devos that just takes 3 to 5 minutes, and it just brightens up your day, and then you're ready to go. And that's what I love to watch, just get the word of God in and pray. And I really, really believe that prayer really helps and works, and God answers prayers. And also, I like watching Rica Peralejo's YouTube videos. There's something about her being just real and authentic, and I like that about her. There's no covering, and it's just about being a parent and life. And she was an artist and I'm an actor, and so we share a lot of things in common. I'm a dad, she's a mom, and I know her husband as well. So it's just very inspiring to see what she goes through. And and I like following Kat Antonio, Kelly Misa, Troy Montero. These are friends of mine, and I like seeing how they live their lives and with a positive outlook in life.
Amazing. I love that. We definitely have to go check out those channels, right, guys? All of you in the comments, let us know who your favorite wellness creators or positivity advocates are and why as well. So join in on the chat. Okay, so next, Jasmine, how about yours? Who are your favorite?
So I'm really into a lot of artists. Some of them are just art or visuals that make me feel happy or make me feel at peace. It could be different pieces that have just a nice array of colors, so it's really abstract. But not getting too much into the artistic, but for, I guess, my age, a lot of them would go to, let's say, things that we are used to, like it's either TikTok or Instagram, and the visuals that these creators produce. For example, We're Not Really Strangers. So I have it on my phone right now. So We're Not Really Strangers. That's just how it is. The spelling, just go and type that in. And they kind of have like things that you or sayings that you would like think about. For example, it could be something light like what song hurts too much to listen to, and then they would share it, and then people kind of relate and talk about it in the comment section, and you kind of connect as well. It's funny because it's a social media app, but a lot of the times social media isn't being used to be social with another person or another stranger, and I think this feed or their profile makes us connected. And another creator that does that as well is Strangers of New York, right? Humans of New York. The stories and the anecdotes of all of these different people are being told in photo and story form, but at the end of the comment section, you would read so many people not only helping out that person, and they're from everywhere in the world, right? But it's also, a lot of them kind of connect with the story. They say, oh, I can relate to you because of this and that. And I feel like that for me is just so beautiful. It's so rare, I guess, for other people to be using social media as a form of actually connecting. And I love it when we have profiles and we have handles and Instagram pages that allow us to do that sincerely. And I think that helps me believe that the world really is great. The world really is connected, and we can do so much beautiful things with it. And maybe one final wellness or motivational creator that I do love also is Gary Vaynerchuk. I know he sometimes cusses a lot, like there's a lot of like bad words here and there, but everything comes from the heart. It's really to motivate you to not make excuses, or maybe look into yourself and think about yourself and reflect on what you've done, reflect on what you want to be. And I think it really is some of the stuff that he shares is the things that our generation or my generation just sometimes need to hear. So those are the top three that like pops into my mind, but there's so much more online, and it's kind of like our job to know what to sift out when we're online. Like we have to be mentally present when we are consuming these types of media, because the more you consume these types of media, the more it'll come to you because of the algorithm and everything. So that's what yeah.
That's great. Yeah, we definitely have to go check out those creators, and it's everyone needs their go-to cleansers.
Yeah.
You watch and you feel cleansed. And so going on now to our expert, Kimi. Kimi, who are your favorite creators that all of us can go check out?
I have one favorite. I love Bretman Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, Bretman's awesome.
Right? He just exudes good vibes. He doesn't even advocate it. He doesn't really talk about it, but he shows you how he is going through the process, journaling, saying good morning to his audience, really engaging, making sure everyone's, having a cute day. So I love that energy. And if we can all just, have that energy online, that presence online, then we can all radiate that and infect and influence everyone. So yeah, Bretman Rock is my rock.
You're cute.
So true.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys are all actually very inspiring people. And speaking of content creators, what are your pieces of advice and bits of wisdom for budding content creators like yourselves? So first, Franco.
Okay. It's simple. Be you, do you. There's only one you, and you just have to simply be authentic and real, and nobody else can be you. So just whatever you come up with, something that's from the heart, something that you enjoy, and something that's really you.
Awesome. Thank you, Franco. I'm going to try making soap now. Jaz?
I love that. And, Franco, I totally and completely agree with that being you is the biggest secret and the biggest thing that you have over others, because any other experience that you have is completely different from others. And I think adding to that, after doing that, it'll be also nice for content creators to always go back to why they did it at the first place, why you started at the first place, why you enjoy this, why does it make you happy or is it not making you happy? Because every time you go back to reflecting and understanding again, why did you do this at the beginning, or why is it something that you say that you're passionate about, you can always find the joy in it again, and you can always create so much more with a better energy and a better mindset because you reflected on that. And that will never, ever, ever let you down. Just go back to that why.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love that. Back to the why. Kimi?
I love it. And I believe that your why usually begins with yourself. So you may think that, oh, I'm going to do it and to showcase, my talent, my abilities, my gifts. But really, it's for the audience. So always think, how can I best serve my audience? That will be the question that you must answer when you're trying to create something. How can I best serve you?
I love that. It's about the audience and serving. Great. That is amazing. Thank you guys so much. And real quick, before we end this fireside chat, why don't you guys plug your social media handles so those watching can follow you guys and follow your work and possibly ask you more questions on well-being and mental health. Franco?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and Laika at FJ Laurel. That's FJ Laurel. And I also have a website, francolaurel.com. So you can, and also a YouTube channel, Franco Laurel. So see you guys there. Just DM me and I really reply.
Awesome. Jasmine?
My Instagram handle, Twitter, Facebook, it's all _JAZ Reyes, _Jaz Reyes, because Jaz Reyes was taken and I can't get that, so I have to put that underscore at the beginning. But if you'd love to send me your overflowing food, you can DM me and we can meet up and have a chat.
Awesome. Kimi?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at KimiLuLifeCoach.com. Slip into my DMs for any questions about your well-being, or actually I give out a free 10-day meditation program. If you want that, let me know. I'll send you the link. And then you can also follow or visit www.KimiLuLifeCoach.com. That's it.
Awesome. Guys, that is so great. It's been an honor to have you guys here on the show on behalf of CICP and all of us watching. Thank you for imparting your wisdom.
Yay, thank you so much.
Bye, thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye. God bless you.
All right. And that wraps up the second part of our fireside chat. Thank you so much to our panelists for sharing your stories. Honestly, this has just all been so helpful, in light of these current difficult and challenging times. How about you guys? What are your takeaways from our 2 fireside chats so far? Share them down in the comment section. Let us know how it's helped you. And, let's all get inspired through the sharing of thoughts and wisdom. Now, before we officially wrap up this GMM, let me update you guys on what CICP has been busy with this past month. To those who have not joined CICP yet, please visit our website to get to know more about us and how to join the council. Be part of our growing family of creators, influencers, brands, agencies, and partners. Visit www.cicp.com.ph. We would like to thank all those who attended our last CICP town hall meeting regarding the recent BIR circular. Please stay tuned for the upcoming ones. If you need our help or guidance regarding your taxes, do drop us a message on our website or via our social media channels, and we'd be happy to assist you, our dear members. Our CICP Legal Committee, CLG, is still available to take questions and consultations from our members via our website, FB Closed Group, and Viber community page. Should there be anything that our members want to consult about, just feel free to drop us a message in any of our accounts or via PM or email. The CICP CLG team is always at your service. CICP's official YouTube channel is now up. Subscribe now and watch our videos, including the recorded episodes of our past GMMs. Just search for the Creator and Influencer Council of the Philippines channel on YouTube. CICP will be in Digicon next month. Just catch us as we talk about the trends in content and influencer marketing. We'll see you there. It's BICON Infest season once again, and we're excited to put forth this event on October the 30th and 31st, 2021. Get ready for the biggest gathering of creators and influencers in the Philippines. For updates, follow BICON on Facebook. Now, I know, can you guys feel it? Big things are really coming up to CICP, and of course, we couldn't have done anything and any of this without you guys. And to those of you who are not members of CICP yet, again, I would like to take this time to invite every one of you to become a member so you can enjoy CICP's member benefits like discounts, webinars given by the country's biggest creators and influencers. So become a member now. All you have to do is just go to their website, www.cicp.com.ph, and sign up. And guys, that concludes our CICP September GMM, guys. Was that awesome or not? Seriously, I really hope that this evening's session was able to inspire you guys who are watching to open up or to help a friend that you know who might be going through something in their life right now. Because guys, we may not always know the right things to say, but being able to offer your listening ear really matters. And so call up on a friend, ask them how they're doing, right? Lend out a helping hand, because in this time, we really need each other more than ever. I would like to thank our keynote speakers, Judy and Benji, our fireside chat panelists, Kuya Kim, Franco Laurel, Jaz Reyes, and Kimi Lu for sharing your time and inspiring stories as well. To all our viewers, as always, thank you for always supporting CICP. This has been Mikey Bustos saying, see you on the next one. And amping mga bay, goodbye buko pay.